Is it smart to specialize or generalize? You hear a lot of people talking about the way to go right now is to generalize, not specialize. Today, we're going to talk about when it makes sense to specialize and when it makes sense to generalize. To generalize or to specialize, that's the question we're going to answer here today. By the way, we're going to talk about Amazon, Nike, and Uber, but prior to doing that, I'll explain why phases matter when it comes down to the topic of generalization or specialization, and in my story. Look, for me, when you think about getting involved with my business, I got into financial services a day before 9/11 with Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. I got my Series 7 license, which allows me to sell stocks, bonds, mutual funds, money under management. I got my 66, 31, which allows you to sell futures and commodities, and then 26, which allows me to manage it, and a Life and Health, which allows me to sell insurance, health insurance, all these other products, right? So when I first went to Morgan, I was selling a ton of different products. Then I went to Trans, I still was selling a lot of different products, many different products. So you had to learn how to sell mutual funds, how to fill out paperwork here, and it's at the beginning stages of it. When I started my own insurance company, till today, I'm still licensed with all of these licenses, till today, but I decided to specifically focus on specialization for the following reason. I got rid of stocks, bonds, mutual funds. I got rid of ETFs, money under management. I got rid of variable annuities. I got rid of 529 college education plans. One mistake we made at one point is we brought in merchant accounts saying, hey, merchant account is a great product to sell within our company. I noticed my agents who were trying to learn how to sell annuities and were trying to learn how to sell insurance were spending way too much time selling merchant accounts. They were going to the business owner. They were trying to set up the machine. There was complications for $38 a month, for $59 a month, and created so many headaches because we were generalizing. So I eliminated this. I eliminated loans. I eliminated real estate, no auto insurance, no modifications, no health insurance, nothing. Life annuities is what we did. Why? Here's why. There's few phases you go through as a company. You got survival phase, you got formulation phase, you're putting the pieces together, you got momentum phase, then at a point you're gonna plateau, okay? When you're during the survival phase, you can't afford to do a lot of different products. You can't afford to sell a lot of different products because focus is the key and it's being lost. Even during formulation, you cannot. You're trying to get your guys going. When you're going to momentum and now you grow and now you've developed leaders, now you've developed independent machines that are running by themselves, then you can consider looking elsewhere right before you plateau. What do I mean by this? Let's transition over to Amazon. Amazon starts off with books. People say Amazon sells everything today. It's not how they got started. So you can't say, I'm going to be Amazon. We at our company are like Amazon. We sell everything. You can't say that if you're at this phase because you confuse people. You can say that when you're Amazon at the last phase, not at the beginning phase. Amazon starts selling books. Then they sell DVDs. Then they sell toys. Why are you selling toys? People want to buy toys. They team up with Toys R Us. Then essentials. Then today Amazon sells everything. What do you want? You want to do Amazon Prime, movies, you want cloud, you want host, you want a media, you want a Washington Post. What do you want? They now do everything. But can you imagine if they try to go get Washington Post here, Amazon Prime here, how hosting any? No, it's not going to work out. There's phases to the game. Nike, they first started off by importing shoes. They didn't even make shoes at first. Shoes came in, they sold it. Wholesale, retail. Then they said, why don't we make our own shoes? So then they made their own shoes. What kind of shoes do we make? Do we make dress shoes? Do we make shoes for soccer players? Do we make shoes for basketball players? They just focus on running shoes. Let's make running shoes. Guess what? This guy named Michael's coming out. What about if we really put some money into this Michael guy? You know, he didn't like his Converse because Converse is being ran with Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and everybody's with Converse. He really likes Adidas, but their presentation wasn't good and they couldn't afford to pay Michael money. Here's our opportunity, Nike. Let's give them big money. They give him big money. Then Nike went from importing shoes, making running shoes, basketball, soccer, and then look at what conglomerate Nike's turned into because they went from specializing to then generalizing. If you go to a Nike store today, you can do basketball, track, running, baseball, cleats, it doesn't matter. They're now everywhere. Let's look at the last one. Here's Uber. Uber starts off with what? Passengers in one small city, then a state, then a region, then a country, then another country, then Uber Eats, then Uber Transportation Freight, then Uber. So they are now evolving. If they would have tried to do move number 19 at move number 1, they would have gone out of business. This is why I wrote the book, Your Next 5 Moves, because everything is about sequencing. Everything's about sequencing. This, because Amazon's sequence of doing business was right, that's why they're a behemoth today. Because Jeff Bezos gets credit for knowing what moves came next. You don't think he thought about what he was eventually going to do? You don't think when he's sitting by himself, realizing how many books he's selling, he's sitting there saying, what else can we sell? What other market can we take out? You don't think they're thinking about that? Of course they're thinking about that. You think Netflix is done doing what they're doing right now? You think this is it for Netflix? You think Netflix has done what they're doing? You don't think there's additional things that Netflix is going to be coming out with? But it's about sequencing. So for many people out there that read books, oh my gosh, multiple streams of income. This is what I got to do. I got to go out there and do this. And for so many, gurus out there that are saying, hey, look at what Amazon's doing. Look at what these guys are. They sell everything under the sun. They're right. They are selling everything under the sun in their industry, but they're doing it at this phase, not at this phase. This is why I wrote the book, Your Next 5 Moves, which is coming out August 18th. If you haven't yet purchased the book, I'm going to leave the link below for you to go get the book, Your Next 5 Moves. So again, going back to it, if you're a startup, if you're barely doing your business, if you're just, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, make a list of all the products you sell and one by one, start eliminating them. One by one, eliminating them to fewer, stay focused today, then go wide with a ton of market share of what you're doing with those 2-3 products, and then say, here's next, here's next, here's next. Don't do it all simultaneously, or else you will lose momentum and you may never make it to this phase, because you may go out of business here or here if you try to do everything too early. Having said that, I got 2 videos I want you to watch. One of them is a multiple streams of income. The myth about multiple streams of income. If you've never watched this, click over here to watch this. The other one is the comparison I made between Walmart and Amazon, why Walmart is about to be David going against Goliath Amazon, meaning Walmart has the potential of taking out Amazon. If you've not seen that, click over here to watch that video. And again, if you haven't purchased the book, Your Next 5 Moves, click below to order the book, Your Next 5 Moves. And if you've not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.